Linux people often brag about having the best looking desktops, but do you really need Linux to achieve that? Today I want to see if I can transform my expensive MacBook into an aesthetically pleasing desktop, with each feature we install getting more and more crazier. Starting off super simple and easy, we need a package manager. And probably the best option on macOS to get for this one would be Homebrew. In order to download Homebrew, we can just go ahead to its website and copy this link. Once we have the link, we can just open up the terminal and paste. Xcode is installed, and now I guess we also have to run these commands. And the way that you use Homebrew is that you can install packages or like command line tools with brew install. Maybe you want Vim, and we can see that it's downloading it right now and installing for us. But let's say you want like a graphical application like one of these ones. In that case, you would have to do brew install -cask, and let's get something like Firefox. And now we can see that it's downloading and installing Firefox. And I think you search for packages by doing brew search VLC, something like this. Oh yeah, I know it just returns casks VLC. We can download this one as well. The next feature that I want to see on my macOS is a translucent terminal. I guess we actually kind of have one already, but I want one that is without this like white border and these buttons. For me personally, I like Alacritty. Brew install cask, like this. Oh, and this actually has been deprecated. I guess the correct way to download Alacritty would be to go to their website and just grab this DMG file and install it that way. But let's see, here I have Alacritty, and this one right out of the box looks a lot uglier than the macOS terminal, but it's completely fine because we are going to customize this one. But in order to do that, we have to make a configuration file, which I created with the following commands that you see on the screen right now. I'm gonna open it in text edit for simplicity. I'm going to use a very short and simple config which I've had for years, which you can find in the video's description down below. Oh, and yeah, we can see that we have our terminal customized. Of course, there's also more extensive customization and a lot more things you can do, but I like to keep it simple. Oh yeah, and there's a penguin for some reason, even though we're on macOS. Why is there Linux on macOS? Okay. In order to make the background more see-through, we can open up our configuration file and make it opacity something like 0.6 maybe. Yes, save. Oh, and immediately the changes are applied. 0.2, what about this one? And now it's even more see-through. Next thing that we need is a window manager, and one that I'm going to use is Aerospace. Aerospace is an i3-like tiling window manager for macOS. Okay, let's download it. And there's the link. Let's just copy that one, paste in the terminal. Okay, and now we have it. And also, first time using Aerospace, it also didn't launch for me, so I think it just needs some permissions. Every time I launch an application, it goes full screen, just like that. Wait. Oh, yeah, and this one also goes next to this one. I created an Aerospace config file using the commands that you see on the screen right now. But then the next thing I want is a different top menu panel for macOS, which would be a lot cooler than the default one. And for this we need sketchybar. Let's just copy these two lines, open up Alacritty. We can see that our window manager works. Let's get sketchybar. Oh, I already have it. Okay. Then let's just copy these commands and paste them in here. Run the bar automatically at startup. The default sketchybar font is Hacknerd font. Okay. Let's install that one. And then what we have to do is hide our macOS top menu panel. That is super simple to do. Let's just open up settings. Automatically hide and show the menu bar. Okay. This one. And let's just set it on always. Hide it. And now we can see we have a top menu panel, except it's kind of overlapping with all of our windows, so I assume we have to configure Aerospace a little bit. What we can also notice is that I have some gaps between these programs. We can actually set them to be smaller, like 20, 20, and everything to 20. Let's save it. Reload config. Okay, and we can see that it changed, except the top is still overlapping. So I guess let's do something like 60 on the top. Reload config. Okay, that looks a lot better. So far everything looks pretty okay, but I want to figure out how to configure sketchybar. There was already created a config file for sketchybar automatically in my case, and I accessed it using these commands. And now I want to see what happens if I reload it. Okay, that looks a lot better. But then another thing that I really crave right now is a different wallpaper. We need that one. Recently, I finished Cyberpunk 2077, so I want something of that kind. I think let's get this one maybe. Okay. Save image to downloads. Now let's set it as the background. And there we have it. Okay. And I think I also want to do something like hide the dock maybe. Oh, yeah, and it adjusted automatically. And at this point, you can't even tell anymore that this is macOS, unless I bring up the dock. What we have ended up with is a translucent terminal, a top menu panel, a window manager, which is pretty cool, actually. It kind of takes some practice to learn to use it. Okay. And I can configure everything as well. So we have those things, and about the terminal, we also have a package manager. Wait. Brew install btop. How do you run it? Like this? Okay, and this is perfect. Now we also have a system monitor in terminal, like you see one of those Discord moderators use. You know, he's fat, but he's got the system monitor at least, and he watches data stream on YouTube. If you liked this video, then make sure you also check out this one next, and I'll see you there.